Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime. Happy Saturday to all of you. Now, let me explain what's going on. TFW 2005 had a huge interview with Nate and Evan, and right after SDCC 2025 came to an end, there was a lot of questions regarding Age of the Primes, Studio Series, Primus Haslab, and more. But to save you the time of having to get on your computer and get on your phone and find it on TFW 2005, because you know we got to cite the credit. People be in the comments, where did you get it? Can you send a link? Google it. So they had a team interview. And so TFW said, will Age of the Primes get a subline in its second year or just continue as it is? Nate said, just Age of the Primes. Is there still interest in making a big Transformers game after Reactivate got canceled? Evan said, yes, there's definitely an interest to pursue bigger video games for Transformers in the future, but we have no information on that at this time, but obviously we would love to see that happen. Are there any unreleased Reactivate concepts that could be squeezed into Studio Series? And Evan said, we've been talking about digging into those designs just because they were so awesome. There's definitely a possibility that they will come, maybe in the future, make their way into Studio Series. TFW said, well, with the reveal of Blastoff, is there a partial of any existing figure, or is it all new? Nate said they all new. All of them is new. All the Combaticons are new. I can't imagine we'd ever go away from that for any combiner. And then Evan said, well, the Aerobots, some of them are partials of each other because they're jets and they're just very similar. So TFW said it was mentioned before that a secret mode allowing Omega Prime to pull all his parts together would be published. And there are fan modes for it, and there's still an official mode, but something has yet to be released. And Evan said, yeah, that falls on me. That was just me being too busy to update it, and I will get on that. I will say the fans have figured it out. I've seen the photos. I think they're very specific. And a lot of specifically the Japanese fans got it, and they figured it out in a minute worth of opening it. So I just need to get that official photo out there. I will do that, not within the first week. We're back because we're very busy when we get back, but eventually he will get the original, the photo out there of Omega Prime combined with all of his parts. Now, back to Bruticus. They're saying with Brawl being a Voyager, how does he integrate with Bruticus? So, and Evan said, so he has ratchets built in, especially the ankle articulation. That's what's very similar with what we did with Devastator and Mixmaster, and like where we had to build each of the ratchets for ankle support. And that's one of the reasons he is buffed up to a Voyager. He is going to be the foot, obviously. So then TFW said, what would you do with the Haslabs in the future? Any possibilities that you'd like to explore beyond the iconic large characters? Are collab Haslabs possible? Jokes about a G.I. Joe flag collab being gigantic and needing a payment plan. Nate said, for Haslab, we have our concept for 2026. We know what we're doing. So Evan says, for future concepts, I will definitely say there is opportunity. Mark wants to go wild and weird as he always does. Nate said, as far as collabs goes, so the G.I. Joes are one. They're very well done. I mean, you have the challenge of trying the interest of G.I. Joe fans, having those 3 and 3/4 inch figures with them. So the challenge is, what can we make the bot to scale to for 3 and 3/4 inch when it comes to a collab significantly? I think the most recent two that we've done were $100. When it comes to collabs, the strategy behind a collab is really trying to get all new fans interested in what is going on. So blah, 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 blah for the rest of that. But he said, to be certain, if it's going to work and it's going to happen, Transformers has been blessed. The Transformers community, we're 5 for 5. So please support them with the Haslabs. Many collabs have been coming out recently. Can you describe the process of which is initiated in case there are possible IPs and franchises interested in working with Transformers? And he was like, yeah, when it comes to, the past couple years, I think one of our best sellers was Surprise, the Ninja Turtles van, which was just an 80s powerhouse. And to be fair, people had to buy 4. But I mean, it really starts with us getting together as a team, looking at marketing moments, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to try to get some cross-generational ones like the NFL helmets. Sucker for those. Him, not me. I don't watch that. So it's kind of how we tackle it. And of course, we call them up sometimes and they'll call us and be like, hey, this makes sense. This is awesome. And we work it out. So yeah, you got a whole bunch of weird collabs coming out. Back to the toys that we love. About Titan Grimlock. Since we had the leader, is there any kind of engineering you brought over? And Evan said, I would say there are a few similar transformation mechanisms in him, but it is a completely new sculpt with how the leader class figure, especially the back skirt, became the tail, and obviously it doesn't happen with this one because the tail becomes his mace weapon. We definitely had some learnings with that figure, but this figure is more articulation, better posing, ratchet joints, and things like that. So I will say, if you are familiar with the leader class one, you'll pretty much know how this Titan class Grimlock works. Are the jaws able to fully open? Yeah. Do they shut? No. The jaws on Grimlock do not shut. What you see in the pictures is as close as it gets. He does have an articulated tongue, though. Evan said the closest that they came is that the teeth will touch tip to tip because his teeth are always very pointy, but there's no super closed mouth. And while we're talking about the Titan, I'm trying to tell every single person I see we're actively in development for the second Dinobot at that scale. Again, we're trying to stop saying Titan scale because Titan scale for the past couple of years was like $200. That's what that means. It does not mean that anymore. Star Convoy provided that. We launched him at $150. This character, right, when we get back to that price point on the bigger scale, bigger terms, Deluxe Voyager Leader, obviously the box is a bit bigger. When it comes to the bigger scale ones, where we're going for core diehard fans, we're not as much concerned about potentially casual fans. It's like, all right, Evan, we decided we're doing a Titan Grimlock. How do we scale it? Well, here's Leader Optimus. Build him up. And then we look at the price, put the price in our hands, and that's where the price lands. But again, next Dinobot is coming in 2027. So 2028, we'll see who the next Titan will be. I think they're going to do 2 Titans a year. Grimlock, does Optimus have a special port? Yes, there's a 3mm port. We knew that. Okay, what else? Talking about the convention of Armada Jetfire, maybe Overload from the crowd. He's known to do a dual combination. If something was made, would you guarantee that happens? Evan said, I definitely hear you there. So starting with Jetfire, yes, Optimus needs a new pair of pants, so he will definitely have that functionality because it's so iconic to the character. I definitely think if we do a Jetfire in the future, I would expect that combination to happen. Going on from Cybertron Optimus, I can tell you that Yuka-san over at Tommy Takara is a big fan of the series and of that character, making sure that Wing Saber, Leo Breaker always pops up. And so that functionality will be important to do. And if we ever do him again, it would not just be a Galaxy upgrade Optimus again, it would be an all new mold. Yeah, so that all this, every time they say if we do, that means somebody's drawn it up already. So let's get to some more good bits of this because we're already at 8 minutes. If Primus is TFW said is Primus more likely to be a Haslab or a Titan if made? Evan said more than likely a Haslab. We've definitely talked about it because there's always been a lot of requests for him. So hopefully at some point in the future, he can be a future Haslab. What TFW said, what Beast Wars characters would you want to make? And Evan said, oh, that's a very good question. For the moment, we just did, obviously, Big Convoy, which was a big one. You know what? I've actually gotten into a lot of requests from these guys. I think it'd be something we need to do is the combiners from Beast Wars. So Magna Boss and Tripredicus. That would be a lot of fun to do. And I think he's next on our list if we could get there. What animated characters would you like to do? And they said, obviously, Omega Supreme is the big one that everybody has asked about. And I definitely think he's needed to kind of end the collection for Transformers animated. Yeah, I'd probably go with Omega Supreme. That's what Evan said. Do you think Lugnut Supreme is possible in that case? And he was like, Evan said, yeah. I mean, we like our redos, we like our partials, and it makes sense. I'd also guess we need a Megatron face in there too at some point, and as well as Starscreams. Woo, ladies and gentlemen. So it's already been 9 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down to some of the other stuff. Can we expect the Nemesis Prime out of the 86 mold? Evan said, there's been so many requests for that version of the Optimus in the 86 mold. And at some point in the future, yes, you can expect every color way that you may want in the 86 mold. Are we going to get a G1-ified Slipstream in the new Seeker mold? And Evan said, yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, we could definitely make that happen. What else? I'm trying to get the good stuff for you because it's already been over the time. Cyber World, very fun, cute show. Color yellowing issues. They said that they can't really talk about it, but they've kind of figured out. Can you tell us what to do to correct the yellowing issues if it occurs, and what process is going back and forth with it in the factories? And he said, I can talk about that a little bit. It's something we're trying to prevent, and if you experience it, please call Hasbro customer care. Good way of managing that question. Yes, TFW said if 86 Rodimus gets made, presumably a Kingdom reuse, is he going to likely be an exclusive so it doesn't take up the yearly commander slots? And Evan said if we do 86 Rodimus, he would be new. And that is something we've kind of been talking about with the Tommy Takara team as well. They would like to do a new one. It's a very different execution, different plans, different priorities as well. So he will be in mainline. We'll just have to see where he ends up. So basically, yeah, they're doing 86 Rodimus again. That's crazy. My thing is just that I just feel like if you made it in the past 5 years, do we really need another one? Kingdom Rodimus wasn't that bad, and I'm staring at him now. At first, I didn't like him when I got him. I didn't even want it, to be honest, but I had to fill out the collection. So now mobile games. Yes, they do want to make figures of mobile games. Concept series be grouped. Well, how will concept series be grouped? Like, will it have different subgroups or will it be an umbrella for everything? And they said it's an umbrella. Basically, it existed for media that could exist in studio series such as movies, games, or comics, and it would go under the concept series and studio series. Wow. Do you want to do more of the main Devastation cast for Gamer Edition? They said yes, 100%. So then Nate had an interview. He said the number one thing that gets him excited is the concept series. Let's skip on down to some other very important stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Here we go. So in wrapping up, they stated they would love to re-release the Activision games, but so far, no updates. Age of Extinction Slog and Snarl were brought up in the discussions by the team, but as of right now, they're focusing on-screen Dinobots, the toy-only ones. Of course, not off the table, though. No mention of size class, but Evans did say that 6-Shot and subsequently Great Shot could use an update. A reissue of the Centurion drone came up, as well as the idealization of an accessory pack with Brunt and to match age of the Prime's Triptychon. Nemesis Prime will combine in some kind of way. Nate asked for thoughts on an 86 Unicron. It would be a new mold, and he was asking for feedback for what size classes. Mark said they want to try proper prototype color figures in reference to the red Thundercracker that was on display because so many people wanted them. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. I wanted y'all to see all this and hear all of this. Again, this is on TFW 2005. If you want to read the entire thing yourself, I think I pretty much got all of it for you. Oh, wait. Where is it? There was one thing about the Age of the Primes where I promise you, I thought that they said that they would not like retool or recolor them or whatever. Maybe I just made that up. Now, see, I'll admit when I think if I'm just guessing. But in here, they were saying that they might do all gold editions. They might do Onyx Prime in blue. There's a lot of things that they plan on doing with these molds. This is not the only, last time that we're going to see them. So, hey, again, you want to see this? Go to TFW 2005. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime. I'm so glad I got to get all this out to you. Y'all enjoy your Saturday and enjoy your first day of the week tomorrow. Go to church!